What is up, everybody? This is your host again, Limitless. Peace, love, and light to every single one of you out there. Hope I'm finding you all in good grace, good health. Hope everyone is doing great. Um, this is another episode of Limitless Talks. You already know what we do. This is that show where we talk about politics, economics, and propaganda. And as usual, guys, I appreciate every single one of you that's been tuning in, listening, and as much I hope you've been learning and understanding what's going on. Because this is what this show is all about. It's all about observation and applying our logic to exactly what is going on. Because a lot of the time we just, these economists, politicians, they just say a whole lot of nonsense, and we just, the people just believe it. The people just think, yeah, oh yeah, they're the expert, we take their word for it, but they're talking rubbish, absolutely rubbish. So guys, please, it's important that we share this information with our family, friends, and loved ones, because we don't have the a lot of us don't have the time to look into these things. You understand what I'm saying? So, and when we do look into it, a lot of us don't understand the garbage propaganda to the good propaganda. So it's important that we're learning and understanding exactly how the world work. So without further ado, let's get to the funny article. We've got lateral flow test could cost £30 with UK government planning to end free testing in the summer. We saw this coming. It's all about money. Any way to make money. Look, they're willing, even all the money printing they've done so far to provide free lateral flow test, it's still coming out of the public's pocket. You understand what I'm saying? So now they're gonna stop that, and they're gonna make you use your hard-earned money through your labor to pay for this out of your own pocket now. Either way, it's a win-win for them. So guys, understand this is all about money. It's all about money and nothing else. Moving on, we've got North Korea says it doesn't hack crypto, calls the US world's king of hacking and theft. This is funny because a lot of the cyber attack we've been hearing lately. That's why I've been saying it's important that get yourself a cold wallet. Get yourself a cold wallet, Safe Power, Nano Ledger, or whatever it is out there. There's plenty. Go do the research and look it up. Get your money off of the exchanges, because we don't have regulations right now. And if your money gets stolen or you fall victim to a hack, nobody's gonna reimburse you. That's why they're kicking the regulation talks down the road. They don't want to do that right now, because they're doing a lot of looting. And when we look in history, this is not their first rodeo. We're dealing with people that have been at this for hundreds of years. It might not necessarily be the same people, but hey, it's called generational wealth for a reason, or should I say generational loot for a reason. All right. So moving on, we've got India central bank governor. Crypto is big threat to financial stability. It's important that we understand that, again, this all a Galilean dialect where they play this opposition game where they act like they're against something, but they're really for it. So they would tout, garbage like big threat to financial stability. The only financial, the only threat to financial stability is the money printing they're doing. That is the biggest threat to financial stability. But you will never hear them say that. None of them ever talks about let's stop money printing. You will not hear anyone from the central bank say let's not print money. You won't hear them say that. So when you hear them say garbage like this, and then went on ahead and still say, oh, but we're working on a digital central bank currency. that we're for that. It's garbage. How are you against crypto, but then you want a digital currency which is fundamentally the same as crypto? It makes no sense. It's nonsense. And we need to understand that these people, they are not here to work for us. We delegated the authority to them, and we need to understand that we can also take that authority back. If we all stop spending Federal Reserve note, which is the central bank note that they print, the fiat money, if we all stop spending that and go back to using bonds, hey, the old system, well, their system, not the financial system, their system, because you see the central bank system, it's private. It's a privately run establishment. And the government that the people have elected have delegated monetary uh, uh, exclusivity to them, which shouldn't happen. We gave the government the authority. Now we can also tell the government that no, 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 no. Take that authority away from these idiots because they're messing everything up. But the people are too scared. That's why they create all this crisis to always put us in flight or fight mode. When you're too busy worrying about your next meal, you don't have time to think properly. You can't think critically. In constant fear, constant drug-induced phase. We gotta stop that, guys. We have to get out of that old cycle. It's not profitable for us at all. All right. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back. We've got a lot to go through. Welcome back, everyone. This is your host again, X Limitless. Let's have a quick look at the market. As we can see right now, we've got the dollar index up. And of course, what's happened, we see a lot of the market is down. The market is down, down, down. And when we look at the rate, all the 10-year rate. By the way, guys, the 10-year yield rate is the most important rate to look at. That's why when you're investing, you're looking 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road. You're not trying to invest to make a quick buck. You understand what I'm saying? You're investing long term, medium to long term, not small term, medium to long term. All right? That's why this 10 years yield is very, very important. And as you can see, they're all going up slowly but surely. All right. And what we're seeing is this is affecting the stock market. This is spooking the market. The higher the rates go, the worse it's going to get. They keep telling us that the increasing rate will reduce inflation. That makes no sense. This is why we have to observe and apply logic to everything we're doing. If these guys raise rates, all these companies within Dow Jones, S&P 500, NASDAQ, they produce goods and services. The goods and services they produce cost money to make. And these companies have debt, they have obligations. All right? They have earning targets to meet. So if rating is increasing, which is going to affect their bills and whatever they have to pay for out there, what are they going to do? They will increase prices of their goods and services. Again, we're back in the same boat. You see how increasing rate will not solve anything. It just won't. But we have the central banks keep coming out and telling us this garbage. Telling corporations not to increase wage as this could cause inflation to spiral out of control. You see how everything they're doing is to crush the people. I mean, increasing wage makes sense. but they're saying don't increase wage. Guys, let's use our logic and common sense. It's not rocket science. It's basic math. Basic. Moving on to the crypto market. Obviously, again, whatever happens to the stock market happens to the crypto market. The last time we looked at the market, we were seeing like just a bit over 2 trillion, and we're at 1.8 trillion now. So we need to pay attention to what's going on. All these things, all this market, they manipulate it. You know, they move together, and when you see it, it's no brainer. Look at it, USD coins. You see the same below that $1 mark. That is seeing just about that $1 mark. When you see this, you know they're draining the market. They're draining it. That's all it is. Below the dollar mark, we move down. Above the dollar mark, we move up. So next, let's compare the VIX to Dow Jones Industrial and Bitcoin. So as we can see, the VIX again is moving up, hence why we're seeing that slight pullback in the crypto and stock market. If you look here, VIX is the ticker symbol and the popular name for the Chicago Board Options Exchange Volatility Index. So when volatility goes up, the market gets scared. It drops a bit. When volatility reduces, people have more confidence in the market, so they come back in and buy. Again, it's simple. It's very, very simple, guys. That's why we're gonna keep going over these indicators every single day, so we ingrain it in ourselves exactly what is going on. So moving into a bit of a political jargon that's going on right now. We've got weak efforts to claw back stolen furlough money by HMRC leaves taxpayers with £4 billion bill. Like we've established, a lot of the stimulus packages, support funds that they printed to assist the people, we know majority of it went into the pockets of corporations. Barely any went into the hands of people. The corporations got majority of it. So we know they're not out here. We've established that they are not out here to do anything that helps the people. If anything, they're talking about increasing taxes. That helps. That does not help the people. It doesn't, because they take the tax out your paycheck before you before you even see the money. So we need to understand that being a corporate entity is our remedy to get out of paying the government money they don't deserve. We all need to understand that being an employee is not actually legal. You know, it's not illegal and it's not legal. You understand what I'm saying? There's no law about the businesses making you a salaried employee. As a matter of fact, contractors are the ones that are salaried in a way, because you know they come in, contractors come to this corporation, they say, all right, we're going to do this, all right, and here's how much we're going to charge. They just charge, you know, a lump sum. But employees are supposed to be paid hourly. So the fact that they're giving employees salaried, you know, a lump sum for the year, we're being cheated. It blinds us to the fact that, you know, wages aren't increasing the way it should. You know, people are getting paid 40, 50K and they get excited and think, oh, I'm making money. Yes, yes, it's still better than making minimum wage, but it could be way higher than that. We need to incorporate ourselves and start getting into these corporations as a corporate entities. Yeah, as a corporate entity. So when we get paid through our corporate entity, and then we see the full paycheck. We see the full paycheck. And that way, we can say our corporate entity has incurred this expenses, and this is how much is left for tax. And if there's nothing left for tax, there's nothing left for tax. It is what it is. You understand what I'm saying? This is game right here. Moving on, we've got, this is on the Gov website now. 2 fake PPE companies shut down. Companies fraudulently took £180,000 from COVID-19 financial assistance schemes. Now they say 2. We know there's more than that. I mean, the ones that receive the millions should be the ones in here. Not even these little guys receiving 180K. We don't care about these ones. We care about the big corporations that got millions to supply PPEs and didn't supply anything. But you will never hear them talk about that, because that's where these thieving politicians, that's where they're invested in. So they don't want that to happen, but they'll go for the little guys doing exactly the same thing that they're doing. You see the hypocrisy? Let's move on. China bought none of the $200 billion it promised from the US in phase 1 trade deal, study reveals. So during Trump's presidency, obviously there was a trade pact between US and China for China to at least buy 200 billion worth of goods from the US. And what did China do? It did nothing. That's what they're telling us. And of course, why would China do it? Because China already makes everything. UK, US, a lot of these European countries, they have a huge trade deficit between them and China, because they've transferred all the manufacturing to China. So we're importing from China. There's a huge trade deficit there. If you already make everything, why would you go to another country to buy something that you can make? Riddle me that. Next, we've got at the Winter Olympics, Beijing digital yuan put Visa in a bind. Again, this is a political war. We know Visa is a major transaction processor for the West, and usually Visa have the exclusive right over Olympics transactions. But since the digital yuan is launched, which we've been talking about, and China's said it, they're gonna use it at the Olympics. They're gonna get Visa out the way. So we know the end game is for the Chinese yuan to replace the dollar. And what a better way to do that than to put it at the forefront of a major worldwide event like the Olympics. So this a chess moves, and we know the US ain't gonna do nothing about it. They just won't, because China has the backing of the powers that run the US in the first place. Moving on, we've got Russia moves to recognize crypto as a form of currency. Russia's draft legislation will reportedly be drawn up by no later than February 18, and that's this year, and is expected to regulate crypto as a form of currency. China, Russia, and a lot of the other countries that have been trading and doing business with China, they gonna be ahead of the West. And when we talk about the West, we're talking about US, UK, France, Germany, and all these other countries that, that been the world superpowers for the last 300-400 years. They're now taking a back seat. The underdogs are rising. Make no mistake, guys, this is all planned. It's planned. When you look at it, it's planned. It's planned. So we're gonna keep an eye on this one and see what the regulation is like, what the consumer protection is like, privacy and all that sort of thing, because that's what we care about. And we know they're kicking this regulation down the road because they love They love this state of the market right now with no regulation. They love it. Now moving on to some economic news. Um, we've got China's digital currency rollout could be a blueprint for the West. And of course, again, everything China is doing, we know China is 5, 10 years ahead of the West. And it's not that the West is not ready. They're ready. They've got everything ready. All they need to do is a push of a button and they're ready to go. But the West is allowing the Chinese economy to be the leader in these things because that's where the new how can I put it? That's the new frontier basically. China's got all the manufacturing capabilities. They've got all the technologies. China was allowed to copy technology and replicate it at unprecedented rate with no repercussion because they were given it, they were allowed to. You understand what I'm saying? You look at a continent like Africa or in African countries. African countries could have been given these same technologies. African countries could have been given the ability to manufacture at an industrial scale. But what do? No, they don't want Africa to have that because it's not our time yet. But Africa's time is coming. On under Chinese global superpower, Africa will rise too. It's just the game plan. Moving on, we've got Bank of England takes the slow lane for CBDC, and it is not the only one. Again, I put these articles in just so you know the rhetoric. They are purposefully taking it slow. It's not that they're not ready, it's just that they are not pushing the button. They're not going ahead with it. They are ready. The central bank digital currencies are ready to go. They've been tested. They're done. They're ready to go. But they want to give us the illusion that, ooh, we're not ready yet and all that jazz there. But we know they're ready. Moving on, a new era of money about the green paper. This green paper examines the potential for central bank digital currency and proposes a journey towards their widespread adoption. We don't need to keep seeing papers like this anymore. We've seen enough of it. There's enough of it out there. They've already carried out all the studies in the world, all the researches in the world on these things. Central bank digital currency isn't just something that just started. They've been looking into this for decades. The Federal Reserve Chairman of the U.S. Central Bank, Jerome Powell, he said it. He said it out of his own mouth. He said we've been looking at digital currencies for some decades now. They're ready. They're done. But they need to print all this money. They need to drown the West in debt. They need to drown the West completely before they move on to their next phase. And we know what's coming. That's why shows like this are important to pay attention to, because the media ain't going to tell you exactly the end game. They're not going to tell you the plan. They're not going to help you put the puzzle pieces together. But we put the puzzle pieces together over here because we care about people. They don't care about people. All they care about is money. That's all they care about. Money. Moving on. EU finance chief says digital euro bill coming in early 2023. Again, the European Union's finance chief announced that a bill introducing a digital euro will be hitting table in European Parliament as early as 2023. And further down here, it says if they give the green light, then the digital euro could be ready for issuance by 2025. When we look at ISO 20022, we've looked at the timeline for a lot of these European countries. Again, if you go back to the previous videos, we've looked at it. Majority of the West will be online by 2025. Again, it's by design. If you look in Asia, they're all online right now. I mean, there are even some countries we saw that have been online on ISO standards since 2007. Guys, Let's not play ourselves. Let's not play ourselves. Let's observe our environment and apply logic. They're kicking the can down the road for a reason. And when you dig deep, you see why they're doing it. It's because they're trying to allow these uh, developing countries to rise. That's the end game. The developing countries will rise, and the already developed countries will drop. It's just that simple. So, guys, let's pay attention. Moving on. Right here, this article here is talking about gold. And, why gold is a good edge against inflation. And as part of our portfolio, we should be including gold in the portfolio. Right here, the sanitary crisis forced you didn't want to use the C word. The sanitary crisis forced governments to print a lot of new money, causing extremely high inflation. Of course, an increasing rate is only going to make it worse. The inflation already been done. But they want to increase rate so they can claw back some of that money. Not from the corporations, but mainly from the people. Because the corporations will just pass on that bill to the people. They will increase the price of goods and services. And who's paying for it then? The people. So let's be smart. Let's be smart. Gold, silver, all the commodities, the real stuff, yeah, we need to be in them. Moving on, we've got UK economy records highest expansion since World War II. The UK economy has registered the highest expansion since 1946, growing 7.5% in 2021, despite an Omicron-induced slump registered in December. This makes no sense. With all the money printing they've done, that 7.5% increase has been cancelled out. It's been nullified. So technically, there's been no growth, but they will report it like there's a growth without factoring in the fact that they've printed so much money and inflated the market. Currently, the UK's economy debt to GDP ratio is sitting at about 97%. Meaning, whatever we're making is going to servicing the debt. there's only 3% left to develop the economy. Seriously, what can you do with 3%? What development are you doing? Again, somebody riddle me this thing, because maybe I'm thinking about it in the wrong way. You make, let's say you earn £1,000 and you spend £950 out of that on your debt. Tell me, what can you do with the remaining £50 to make sure that you develop yourself to bring in more income? It's not enough. It's gonna be a vicious cycle. You're just gonna make money and just pay debt. Make money, pay debt. Make money, pay debt. Not enough to actually make improvement in your economic circumstance. So this is garbage article right here. But they will always want to make it seem like, ooh, we improved. No, there's no improvement. There's no improvement. Any improvement that could have been in place has been nullified through inflation. It makes no sense. Moving on, we've got OPEC forecast rising demand after failing to hit output targets. Now we know, shutting down the economy, everything went down. That's why it's important to know that oil price, if you look at it, oil, oh my God, it's reached 93. Oil is going up, guys. Oil, you shouldn't even short anything in this market we're in, because they're still printing money like it's nobody's business. We're going to see new all-time high in this market. All-time high. Again, that's just my opinion now. based on what I've seen, research and stuff like that. We're gonna see new all-time high. You understand what I'm saying? And if OPEC is telling us that they fail to meet their rising demand, guys, there's over 6,000, 5,000, over 5 to 6,000 products that are made with crude oil. This is the backbone, the energy that we use. We use crude oil to create energy, electricity, to carry out manufacturing of over 5,000 products and services. Now, if they failing to meet target, what's going to happen to those products and services? First of all, oil will increase in price to start with, and subsequently, it will increase the prices of those goods and services. Hey, it's common sense, guys. It's basic. It's just that simple. The cost will trickle down. The cost gets passed on to the consumers. We end up paying for it, not the corporations, because they see it as expenses and they pass it on into the price of the goods to the consumers. We pay for it. And then on top of that, all the money that's been printed to help these corporations, it's almost like that never happened. Again, on the back of the public, the people. Guys, let's pay attention. Filter out the garbage media from the good media. Because the lamestream media in general, if you don't listen to the lamestream media, you are uninformed. And if you listen to the lamestream media and you don't filter it, you are misinformed. That's why it's important. Moving on. We've got Federal Reserve Board releases hypothetical scenario for its 2022 bank stress test. Here's the important bit down here, guys. The board stress test evaluates the resilience of large banks by estimating losses, net revenues, and capital levels, which provide a cushion against losses under hypothetical recession scenario that extends more than 2 years. Guys, the recession we're going in, it's gonna be painful, and it's gonna last for a while. We're talking years, guys. We're talking years. And if you're not positioned well, you're not invested, you're not situated right, it's gonna be very painful. Very, very painful. In the 2022 stress test scenario, the US unemployment rate rises. So this is the scenario now. Rises by 5.75 percentage point to a peak of 10% over 2 years. So with a base of 5.75% point to a peak of 10% over 2 years unemployment. We know it's going to be higher than that. But this is hypothetical. But we know it will be higher than that. It will be higher than that. The large increase in the unemployment rate is accompanied by a 40% decline in commercial real estate prices. That's why we've been saying now is not the time to be saying you want to take out a loan to buy an asset. You will be locked in that rate. You'll be screwed. Imagine the price of your property dropping by 40%, but you don't realize that 40% drop because you're locked in the same monthly payment you have to pay back to the bank. You're screwed. You are screwed. You will be screwed. This is what being shafted is. And hey, we'll keep saying what we're saying here. And those who still just want to ignore and do things blindly without understanding whether it's the right market to be doing what they're doing or not, that's up to you. That's up to you. Widening corporate bond spreads and a collapse in asset prices, including increased market volatility. Guys, it's gonna be painful. And this right here, they're doing a hypothetical stress test. We know there's a big event coming that will bring everything they've just said in this hypothetical scenario, quote unquote, to reality. And it will be worse than they're saying it here. So guys, prepare yourself, because we don't need to stress that enough. Prepare yourself. You don't want to get caught in the crossfire. Now moving to some crypto news. We've got Forbes Blockchain 50 2022. So right here, Forbes is basically talking about, all the top businesses that have implemented blockchain within their operation and the blockchain platform they've implemented. So you've got Adobe. They've implemented, blockchain through via the Ethereum platform. So guys, we know Ethereum ain't going anywhere. Ethereum is that giant quantum system that's gonna run everything. It'll run damn near everything. And we know right now the transaction fee is high. We know they can reduce that. We know they're making money off of the transaction fees. Whether the price goes up or down, they don't care. They make money off of the transaction fees. It's like a bank, all right? Whether the price go up or down, the banks make money. It don't matter to them. Now we've got Allianz, big insurance company in Germany. They do all sorts of insurance, guys. Even my current workplace, we use them for our cylinder inspection. You understand? Our pressure vessels. They're the underwriters for our insurance. And you see right here, they've got Corda R3, Hyperledger Fabric. Again, part of the ISO 2002. You see, certain businesses, they will have to be based on the ISO 2002 because they will be the main backbone of the economy, like Allianz. Allianz is a big giant insurance company, and they're on Corda. So, guys, and that's XDC for those who don't know as well. That's the XDC token. So, guys, pack your bags, man. Pack your bags. We've got Andreessen Horowitz Investment Funds Manager. Right here, the platform they're on: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Flow, Celo, Near, and Arweave, and others. Do the research, guys. Companies are already establishing themselves on blockchain. The mainstream media ain't talking about it, but we don't care. We don't need them to. We don't need them to. We'll do the research. We'll look at the news. As a matter of fact, we don't even. When you're doing research, you only want to look at things you don't know or to find out new things. A lot of the time, mainstream media will tell you what's going on. That's why if you don't listen to mainstream media, you're uninformed. And if you do listen and you don't filter out the garbage, you're misinformed. We've got Ant Group on the Ant chain. I'm sure they've got an underlying blockchain that facilitates the Ant chain for them, and it'll probably be on one of the major, Hyperledger Fabric systems. We've got Anthem again on Hyperledger Fabric. We don't know which one it is. It could be XLMs, it could be Corda R3, but hey, they all link back to the major tech companies like IBM, SAP, and all those guys there. We've had a look at it. Go back to the previous videos. So again, you got Corda, Aeon, guys. Go through these articles. AP Muller in Denmark. They're on TradeLens, Hyperledger Fabric, guys. It's important we know what's going on. They're building. They've been building, and you see right here. You see IBM, co-developed with IBM. You gotta understand who the players are. If you don't understand the players, you don't know where to move your money to. Follow the money, and you can never ever lose. That's the game plan. You understand what I'm saying, guys? So all that right there is just, it puts us at ease that we're moving in the right direction. Understanding ISO 2002 and all the different blockchains and ledgers involved companies, it's telling us that we can't go wrong. We're not going wrong. We're not being steered wrong. We follow the money, and we never lose. Now we've got McDonald's files trademarks for Metaverse restaurant. Oh my god, there's some poor soul out there that will actually go spend their crypto in Metaverse buying some Big Mac they're never gonna eat themselves. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. But at the same time, we know McDonald's will be using blockchain to do delivery, drone delivery. Guys, there's a time coming when you won't be able to step out your house. You don't believe it. I know a lot of us don't believe it yet. It's like, we're thinking about it like, oh, that would never happen. Why would we never be able to go out the house? Look, 5G, 6G, your body can't handle it. So they need you to sit in the house and let the robots do everything. Okay? They want to get you out the economy, Let the robots do the work, and the things the robot algorithm and stuff, the 5G that they need to do all these things and communicate, the human body can't handle um uh the EMF from these devices. So we need to stay in the house. So pay attention, guys. Now we've got religious services move to Metaverse amid COVID-19 concerns. Again, the churches, your religion, they're all part of the problem. They're all part of the problem. They are in with the agenda. Remember, these churches, they make money, man. They make money, and all of them, they all sign up to that 501(c) regulatory compliant bill, whereby the money they make is treated as a charity donation, and for that they don't pay taxes. You understand what I'm saying? And in order for them to keep their privileges, they have to comply with the agenda. And let's not make mistakes, guys. They don't care anyways. You see these pastors riding big cars, driving big Bentleys, private jets, big houses, starting up private schools, and only bringing in their top friends that they're friends with, rubbing shoulders with, while the church members are still languishing and suffering, and all they say is, let's pray about it. Let's pray about it. It's a mess. The world is a mess. It's a big fat stage for liars, thieves, and deceivers to take advantage of the weak, the lowly, and the humble. Hey, if you want to be in that category of victim, I don't want to be a victim. That's why I'm doing this. So whoever doesn't want to be a victim, you're in the right place. Next, we've got Binance, led by the world's richest crypto billionaire, obviously Binance CEO, CZ, is taking a 200 million stake in Forbes. And if you watch this video right here as to why they're doing it, it said, oh, it's because they're trying to help Forbes to migrate over to Web3 and this and that. I'm like, if you believe, even when he was saying it, he didn't believe it, and I could see it on his face. Look, our facial expression don't lie. It lied right there on lamestream media. But some people will believe it, but I didn't believe it. This right here is to control narrative. Hey, if he's gonna invest 200, it does not need to invest in Forbes to help Forbes migrate. They just don't need to. But they want to tell us that they invest into. It makes no sense. Just think about it. Why do you need to invest in something in a company to help them migrate? No. It's just like contractors come in. I don't know if you guys know how contractors work. Contractors go into corporation to do something for them and saying, "Oh, we're gonna invest in your business to help you." Like what? That makes no sense. This is about control right here. They want to control the narrative in regards to cryptocurrency. All right. This is what this is all about. He who controls the narrative controls the mind of the people, and Binance wants to control the narrative. And we know about the Asian connection. We know the East is where the new thing is at. All these Western companies, either they migrate to the East, take their business to the East, or they die. That's the option. But we know they don't want to die because Forbes been running for over 100 years now. Forbes is a big player in the lamestream media sector. So obviously it makes sense that they're gonna go over to the East and carry on with their propaganda. Moving on, we've got I2C partners with Wirex to expand prepaid crypto card to the US. Guys, if you don't know about Wirex, you need to jump on Wirex. Alright, they got token as well and all that. But Wirex is gonna be big. Wirex is one of those businesses that nobody really hears about. Those, that fintech company nobody really pay attention to. You see, there's a lot of the cryptos, and blockchains and fintechs that aren't in public's eye, those are the ones you should watch out for. But you see a lot of these ones they're putting in your face. Yes, they will make it too, but they're gonna use them to rob people a lot. That's why I'm diversified as much as I can. I've got about 6,000 YRX token. Obviously, this is not financial advice for you to go buy YRX token, but I'm just letting you know. Like, YRX will be big too, and a lot of people don't know about YRX. Moving on, we've got Uber CEO. We are absolutely going to accept cryptocurrency payments. We know Uber's moving towards automation as well, driverless cars. They've been developing their driverless cars for the longest now as well. And we know when you couple, driverless cars with Bitcoin, with these cryptocurrencies, what do you have? You have a system that can fully function without humans. The car gets paid in crypto, pays for its insurance, pays for its car, itself's maintenance, pays pays for charging itself and all that sort of jazz there. Guys, no humans involved. That's why some people say Bitcoin and Bitcoin ain't gonna make it. And I'm like, if Bitcoin ain't making it, then by default Ethereum ain't making it, because they're both technically the same thing, same source code. And we know we've got Bitcoin Lightning that's gonna be working in the background, that's being used to scale, to reduce all these transaction costs. That's why I'm saying they could, all this transaction fees is gonna go away eventually. But right now they're making a killing, so don't expect it to go away right now. They're making too much money, but when the time is right, when the economic circumstance is right, they will make it cheap, because they want to increase the amount of profit they gonna make. Moving on, we've got upcoming Apple iPhone feature to give merchants a way to accept crypto payments. This is just more adoption, guys. We know it's coming. It's only a matter of time before these things, and the more you see these things, just know we're getting closer to a major event that will take us completely over into the digital economy. They're just building right now, so they're not ready to flip the switch yet. That's why it's important to pay attention to the ISO 20022 migration time plans. Next, we've got Coinbase forms a second political action committee, that's what PAC stands for, to support crypto-friendly candidates. Again, this is just them telling you, like, yeah, we're about to start lobbying. Bribing. Lobbying again, sorry. The bribing, that's what they're doing, guys. That's what lobbying is. They're gonna bribe, lobby, whatever you want to call it, the political constituencies that you've voted for to go represent you. Rather than them doing what you tell them to do, they're gonna do what the guy that's paying them money to, even though you're paying them as well, you're paying them handsomely. Remember, these guys, they get paid all sorts of money. They've got their base salary, then they've got accommodation, money that they get paid, dress money, entertainment. They've got all sorts of money they get paid. All right, they get paid well, but greediness in the human nature is just profound. It's profound. So they're getting ready, guys. Those regulations will start coming in, and if we're not paying attention to what's in those regulations, we're gonna suffer for it. We need to be involved in the political process, because nothing happens in the economy without it happening first via the politicians, because the people have to agree first. And if the politicians that represent the people say go ahead, guess what? It's a go. It's an assumption that the people agree to it. If we don't go back and rebut that assumption, hey, it's a green light. They're going to go for it. And lastly here, we've got BlackRock planning to offer crypto trading. Sources say clients will be able to trade crypto through the firm's Aladdin investment platform, said one of the sources. More casino, guys. That's why we keep saying, hey, we ain't seen The recent lows we had is just a minor correction. It's nothing major. It's just a minor correction. We're gonna see all-time highs. How long that's gonna take, nobody knows. But we're gonna see all-time highs before they bring this whole entire economy to its knees because they haven't stopped printing. And remember, as they keep printing, they need somewhere to put that money. And where do they put it? They put it in the crypto market, they put it in the stock market, and hey, the people are none the wise. The people, the media, the mainstream media put out a lot of fear mongering articles, a lot of garbage propaganda that scares the people into going into these markets. So, guys, we're here to make profit, we're here to make money, but we're not here to make money at the detriment of other people like they're doing. You understand what I'm saying? So we're alerting ourselves and letting ourselves know exactly what is going on. So finally here, let's not forget that we've got futures and options expiring. Now we're this is mid of the month, and as we can currently see, Bitcoin backed futures is uh currently seen at 4263. Now when it comes to expiration date and that price is still that, you best believe Bitcoin is going to drop down to this price. It will make its way down to this price along with the CME. If we look at the uh CME futures as well. So CME Ethereum. Let's look at CME Ethereum. Or should I just type in Ethereum futures? Ether futures CME. Both micros they do the same day, so it don't matter. So again, 2,900, 919. Let's look at the Bitcoin. Bitcoin micro CME. 42,390. If we look at the crypto market right now, sitting at 42,336. So let's just know that whatever the future stating, the market will make its way down to that. And as we can see, with dumping. So obviously the price, if the price goes up, again, futures is basically people betting in the background on the price of the product. So if more people say it's gonna go up, the price will go up. If people say no, bring it down, it's gonna go down. If you can see, the ratio of the red the red to the green is very small. So we've seen that the highs we've seen recently is 44,000 and the low is 42. So depending on where we see at that spectrum will depend on where the market stays at. So guys, that's all I've got for you today. I hope I haven't bored you too much, but these things are important for us to know. I appreciate you listening in. I'm your host again, Limitless. And this is that show where we talk about politics, economics, and propaganda because it's important that we understand how the economic and the political system and everything in between, how it works. The world is a stage, it's planned out, nothing happens by accident. They do things purposefully, knowing fully well the risks and the repercussions behind it. They know fully well. So depending on the agenda they're trying to achieve, it depends on what they do. And a lot of the time the agenda is nothing to benefit the people. It's all about stealing and destroying the people. That's what it's about. Please share with your friends, families, and loved ones because we all need to hear these things. All right? I'll catch you on another episode. Peace, love, and light to you all.